Hi friends, how are you all? I hope you all are doing well. My name is Sanju and welcome to my channel English with Sanju. And in tonight's video, like previous few days, we are going to do the essay A Room of One's Own by Virginia Woolf, and uh, we are at page 21. That was all. The meal was over, everybody scraped their chairs back, the swing doors swung violently to and fro. Soon the hall was emptied of every sign of food was made easy, no doubt, for breakfast next morning. Down corridors and upstairs, the youth of England went banging and singing. And was it for a guest, a stranger? For I had no more right here in Fernham, that is, than in Trinity or Somerville or Girton or Newham or Christchurch to say the dinner was not good, or to say we were now Mary Sutton and I in her sitting room. Could we not have dined up here alone? For if I had said anything of the kind, I should have been prying and searching into the secret economies of a house which to the stranger wears so fine a front of gaiety and courage. No one could say nothing of the sort. Indeed, conversation for a moment flagged. The human frame being what it is, heart, body, and brain all mixed together. Sorry. And not contained in separate compartments, as they will be, no doubt, in another million years. A good dinner is of what importance to good talk. One cannot think well, love well, sleep well, if one has not dined well. The lamp in the spine does not light on beef and prunes. We are all probably going to heaven, and Van Dyck is we hope to meet us. We hope to meet us round the next corner. That is the dubious and qualifying state of mind that beef and prunes at the end of day's work breed between them. Happily, my friend who taught science had a cupboard where there was a squat bottle and a little glasses, but there should have been sole and cartridge to begin with, so that we were able to draw up to the fire and repair some of the damages of the day's living. In a minute or so, we were slipping freely in and out among all those objects of curiosity and interest which form in the mind in the absence of particular person and are naturally to be discussed on coming together again. How somebody has married, another has not. One thinks this, another that. One has improved out of all knowledge, the other most amazingly gone to the bad. With all those speculation upon human nature and character of the amazing world we live in would spring naturally from such beginnings. While these things were said, however, I became shamefacedly aware of a current sitting in of its own accord and carrying everything forward to an end of its own. One might be talking of Spain or Portugal or of book or race force or race horse, but the real interest of whatever was said was none of these things but a scene of masons on a high roof some 5 centuries ago. Kings and nobles brought treasure in huge sacks and poured it under the earth. This scene was forever coming alive in my mind and placing itself by another of lean cows and a muddy market and withered greens and the stringy hearts of old men. These two pictures, disjointed, disconnected, and nonsensical as they were forever coming together and combating each other and had me entirely at their mercy. The best course, unless the whole talk was to be distorted, was to expose that was in my mind to the air, when with good luck it would fade and crumble like the head of a dead king when they opened the coffin at Windsor. Briefly, then I told Miss Satin about the mason who had been all those years on the roof of the chapel, and about the kings and queens and nobles bearing sacks of gold and silver on their shoulders, which they shoveled into the earth, and then how the great financial magnates of our own time came and laid checks in bonds. I suppose where the others had laid ingots and rough lumps of gold, all that lies beneath the colleges down here. I said, but this college where we are now sitting, which lies beneath its gallant red brick and the wild unkept grasses of the garden, what force is behind that plain china of which we dined? And here it popped out of my mouth before I could stop it, the beef, the custard, and the prunes. Well, said Mary Seton, about the year 1860. Oh, but you know the story, she said, bored, I suppose, by the recital, and she told me. Rooms were hired, committees met, envelopes were addressed, circulars were drawn up, meetings were held, letters were read out. So and so had promised so much. On the contrary, Mr. Won't give a penny. The Saturday Review has been very rude. How can we raise a fund to pay for offices? Shall we hold a bazaar? Can't we find a pretty girl to sit in the front row? Let us look up what John Stuart Mill said on the subject. Can anyone persuade the editor of to print a letter? Can we get Lady to sign it? Lady is out of town. That was the way it was done precisely 60 years ago, and it was prodigious effort and a great deal of time was spent on it. And it was only after a long struggle and with the utmost difficulty that they got £30,000 together. So obviously we cannot have wine and partridges and servants carrying tin dishes on their heads. She said, we cannot have sofas and separate rooms. The amenities, she said, quoting from some book or other, will have to wait. Okay, we are told that we ought to ask for £30,000 at least. It is not a large sum, considering that there is to be but one college of this sort for Great Britain, Ireland, and the colonies, and considering how easy it is to raise immense sums for boys' schools, but considering how few people really wish women to be educated, it is a good deal. Lady Stephen, Emily Davis, and Girton College. Every penny which could be scraped together was set aside for building, and amenities had to be postponed, are scratching the crowds, are scratching the cause. I hope the video was useful for you. Please hit the like button, share it with every person you know, subscribe and ask all your friends to subscribe. And when you subscribe, hit the bell icon so that you get all notifications from my channel. Till then, it's bye from me, Sanju. Take good care of yourself, your family, don't forget your friends, and see you in the next video.